What's up, everybody? Welcome to Second City Entertainment. I'm Joey Real Talk Catrano.
I'm Dan the Freaks of Frigo.
And I'm Ryan Green Machine Ebner. And today, we're going to go over Suicide Squad.
And we're all back together. We have Dan in the flesh. We could see him.
I like the new Pete. I'm like,
Pete. Who's Pete?
Who?
Aw, Pete, we miss you.
He hasn't seen it yet.
Oh,
So don't listen
He'll
to this,
never
Pete.
see it.
Hope you're not listening.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yes. So before we get going on Suicide Squad, I'll tell you where to find us. It's youtube.com, search Second City Entertainment, facebook.com/Second City Entertainment, Instagram, you can search Second City Entertainment, and then on Twitter, Dan, you want to tell them, where are we on Twitter?
no, dude.
Okay, it's at Second City, capital E. I still haven't checked if that matters or not.
Yeah, you know,
I
screw
mean, we
you.
probably honestly
That's
never.
why I want to say it, dicks.
So we're doing a Suicide Squad review. We each saw the movie over the opening weekend. It's made, I think, around 135 million so far. That's the largest August opening weekend they've ever had. It beats Guardians by like 40 million. But it's not opening in China. The movie isn't. So.
Oh, that's because
right.
the China industry is massive for movies.
So though that will tank it down a little bit. Like that's the thing. Like it did beat Guardians for opening weekend in August. It won't make as much as it did over its lifetime.
Yeah.
It made a lot of money. But we'll let Joey start here with his take on the movie.
So I guess I'm going to start out with a rating, I guess. I think I'd have to give it like a 6 out of 10. Okay. I didn't personally care for the movie too much. I felt like they focused a little too much on Deadshot. The times that the Joker was in there were just kind of... I mean, I seem like because you want to get to like Harley into it, but the points with the Joker, like trying to break her out, I'm like, that was just useless. I felt like there was no need for it. And then his laugh, I mean, terrible. Yeah. I get that he's trying to do like every Joker that has been presented is so unique, and so he wants to be his own unique Joker.
Oh, he's super unique.
He's definitely unique,
Yeah.
and
so many tats, dude.
yeah.
Like his hand tat.
Okay,
Yeah.
no. The one that's the worst is damaged on the forehead. Who would have thought that he needs that on his head?
That's a good point.
yeah. So he plays a good Joker, but I don't think in this movie he doesn't really like pertain too much, and I don't know. I don't really care for him in this movie. I heard that he said he has enough footage to make his own Joker movie.
That'd be interesting to see all the deleted scenes.
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting to see, like, because I'm sure you guys heard that how messed up he was on set.
Yeah, he went in the
That
full
people
character.
were had to be like,
I think he
help.
Ledger did the same thing. Like you just like seclude yourself from everybody else because you're trying to make yourself into that mindset of that psychotic person.
Yeah, so I mean, it'd be cool to see his own movie. Maybe he'd be good in that. Definitely take out the laugh. Don't laugh, please don't.
He's gonna though.
The scenes with Batman were pretty cool. I like seeing that the Bat's like, oh man, it's Batsy. I'm like, hey, it's Batman. And then the time when they're getting boomerang and you have the Flash. I'm like,
that was really
like,
cool.
oh shit. And then, spoiler alert. I mean, this is all spoilers. But
I was gonna
fuck it.
say.
And at the end where they're like, oh yeah, where Wayne is trying to, get those papers. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll get my friends. Oh, Justice League.
Yep.
Now that would be a cool movie, Justice League and Suicide Squad.
Yes.
What the hell, what would they do? They work
Yeah.
together? Do they go against each other? Because whose side are they on? That'd be pretty cool. But in the movie, I mean, I don't know. You got, who's the Slipknot?
The guy with the
Like right in the beginning.
climb
Yeah,
buildings.
You climb anything. Yeah.
He was there for about 15 seconds, got
What
blown
a useless
out.
motherfucker! I can
Yeah.
climb anything.
Yeah.
It's like cool.
He does
Looking
the
like half
Batman
these
thing. His
people.
little grappling hook thing.
Right. I was like, it looks like all these guys can.
So they
almost
probably
do.
paid the
Yeah.
guy a couple $1 million to swing from a building and get his head blown off. I mean, why not? Killer Croc was awesome.
I loved his personality.
I liked his character. He didn't really talk much, which was kind of insane because he was, everything he said was funny. Like,
Right.
what was it when like Katana was going through killing people or something? He's like, I like her.
Yeah.
Or he's like, bitch, I'm beautiful. The quotes he had were hilarious, but I mean, I guess you could see he's a crocodile mutant. He doesn't really communicate too well.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn was pretty cool. I liked her character. Deadshot, I mean, it's Will Smith. I loved him, but like I said, I felt like you focused a little too much on him. Every scene
Dude, it was
had to have
heavy
Deadshot.
Yeah.
Heavy Deadshot.
Every single scene. If it was Harley beating someone with the bat, there's Deadshot in the background shooting. And there's Killer Croc ripping someone over. Guess what? There's Deadshot picking up a gun. Like, why does he have to be in every single shot? There's no need for
It's
it.
Will fucking Smith. Okay.
I guess that's it, but who the fuck cares? I don't care who you are. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
in every
Say I'd
shot,
rather do.
don't you're taking away from all the other characters.
What's his nuts is in every shot too. Clint Eastwood's kid, Rick Flag.
Oh yeah.
He's in every shot too.
Yeah, I
Fucker.
mean, he's a fucking useless piece of character, but He tried to do what he could. The Enchantress. Enchantress. She was really cool. I liked her character a lot. Didn't really know she was gonna be the villain.
Okay, so I'll say that too. I didn't know who the villain was going to be from the footage.
Yeah.
Like we heard so many different things. Like my brother's saying how he heard like the way that they present Batman was going to be from the villain's eyes of what Batman's supposed to look like. That's why he supposedly looked a little weird in the trailers. But then you kind of watch it, and it's not that he looked weird. It's just when he dove in the water, he had the breathing in his mouth. So that made more sense. But I didn't know who the villain was going to be. Was this going to be Joker was the main villain? Because they presented Joker a shit ton in the trailers and for the hype for this movie.
Of course it is.
That's what I was thinking, because I'm like, how else are you going to put Joker into this movie?
I understood why they used him. Like, it sets up Harley's origin, because that is why she's Harley Quinn. She wasn't Harley Quinn before that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, she was the doctor.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that makes sense. But yeah, no, I didn't know Enchantress was going to be a villain or be a part of the team or what.
Yeah, they made her character very cool, and then her brother looked badass.
Yeah.
What they did with that was really cool. That was probably the highlight, is when that part was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, oh no, I mean, Boomerang was okay. He just kind of drank, and then he would take a sip out of his fucking beer and just crackle it. I don't know if you guys ever noticed it. Every time he drank something, it was just a sip and crackle.
And the unicorn.
Sip and,
Yeah.
Why do you have the
Pink
stuff
unicorn,
unicorn?
Because that's his fetish. His fetish is pink unicorns in his bio. So, I mean, him, I mean, what the hell was he? He threw, 3 boomerangs?
He was
the
there
whole
for me
movie?
to see Flash.
I
That's what he was there for.
So, I mean, all in all, I mean, all the characters, you have Deadshot and Harley. They're pretty much the only characters that you could go to see. And then you got the poor guy, El Diablo, who was a badass. He doesn't do a goddamn thing to the very
Well, that was
end.
kind of the point, though. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't like, they didn't throw him in there. His whole thing was, like, not to be there because he regretted what he did.
Right.
I know, but it's still been cool just to see, like, a little bit, like him getting built up, like the anger building up. I mean, he did, unleash it a couple times.
He was Will Smith, man.
I really did like his character. He was probably the best character.
Had to be in the movie. He
Yeah.
had to be in that scene.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be on, man.
Yeah.
No hard feelings.
So I think I covered all the characters.
I think you did.
And then the soldier guy, I mean, what the fuck ever. He's Chris Kyle wannabe, and then that's the feeling I got. I don't know if you guys got that. When I was watching
Sniper, I don't know.
I got that feeling like
He
of
was a
like
colonel. I think he was a colonel, right?
Colonel Rick Flag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta lead the team, man.
I don't know. I got that feeling of like, is this like the Chris Kyle wannabe or?
No.
I don't know. I just kept getting that vibe from him.
Yeah,
like
he's
the way he
got
was
a
acting.
goatee. He's in the military. It must be
Yeah.
Chris Kyle.
Just the way he was talking and then watching like American Sniper, it was like it just felt like way too similar. I'm like this jackass and no.
Oh my god.
That's the way I compared it. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
You were okay with it,
I mean, I won't watch it again, but
Dan?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll start with my rating. I give it more like a 7 out of 10. Kind of more like an average movie. Like, I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was terrible. I liked it more than Batman vs Superman.
I
But
still have not seen that.
I thought you saw it with us.
No, he
No.
wasn't here. He's in
I was in
Florida.
Florida.
Oh yeah.
He didn't
But-
see Star Wars either.
Yeah, you're weird. Not even American.
Oh, this was America.
But yeah. So I'll give it a 7. I mean, I just feel personally to me 7.5 is a little too much because I enjoyed it. I liked the action of it. It can be entertaining for 2 hours, which is considered kind of like a long movie.
Right.
I didn't feel like I was watching a 2-hour length movie. I felt like,
No.
oh, okay, it felt like pretty fast because there was always kind of action. There was dialogue to explain who each character was, which was nice. Was like right from the beginning they did everybody, and they kind of just got out of the way, and then they just did the whole entire story, and then like that's pretty much what I liked about it. And then like probably like I don't know. I mean, favorite character. I mean, the only thing I guess I'll say this first is like big thing like I didn't like was like Killer Croc. The only thing I didn't like about him was like when I played like the Arkham Asylum game, like Batman and stuff like that. Like I like how they portrayed him. Like he's like 10 feet freaking tall. He's like his teeth out of his jaw. They're so big. He's just a scary looking motherfucker. And like they just make him like like regular height. And he's a little big, but like.
Well, you figure if you're making like a 10-foot Killer Croc though, that because Will Smith is the baby, like the golden child of this movie, you take away from Will Smith. So he's probably like, fuck no, make him regular height, make him actually shorter than me. I guarantee that conversation went
I
down.
don't think so.
It's because I'm black, ain't it?
Yeah. I think Killer Croc was.
Oh, he was totally black. Yes, Killer Croc was totally a black dude.
Well, he was. Oh yeah.
There's very heavy black dude there.
Yeah, but that was just like my little pet peeve I had of him because like, I just dude, like he just wasn't scary enough to me. But like, I did like how they did they kept him like how like he was in the sewers of this Arkham Asylum and stuff like that. That's cool to see. Like, oh man, like yeah, this motherfucker in the sewer, like just throwing meat down to him. Like, all right,
And treating him like an animal.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, like kind of like what I thought. Like, I didn't think it was like the only thing. Like I said, Captain Boomerang, I feel like is not needed at all.
He didn't like him or Slipknot.
No, I'm saying he's Captain.
Oh yeah, it's Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, Captain Boomerang. Yeah.
What, did Captain America want to be?
Yeah, apparently, he just drinks a lot. But, yeah, I just thought he did not need to be in it. The movie could have been the same way it could have been without him in there. And except for the Slipknot part, because he's the one. He's a hey man, let's just go. We can do it. You know we can die, we can still do it.
Yeah.
And he's not just like grapple hook, and he just blows up. It's like, oh, you're pointless. So are you, Captain Boomerang. But and then the pink unicorn thing was weird. That was just, I don't know.
Oh, speaking of Captain Boomerang, not to interrupt you, but when he only throws about 3 boomerangs, the rest of them he's smacking people.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they were fighting, he was just hitting.
Or he just pulls out little knives. He's like,
Right? Like, who the fuck are you?
You haven't seen, so you guys haven't watched Arrow or Flash.
I shouldn't have to understand this movie.
No, I'm saying though.
Okay.
No, but Suicide Squad
Sorry.
is very heavy in Arrow, like because Amanda Waller's in it, and it's very, very heavy. The Deadshot in that is really good, but the Captain Boomerang in that, like, not nearly as like entertaining or funny, like any little quips or anything as it is in the movie. In the movie, the Captain Boomerang, he's pretty like, he's not super gruesome, I guess you would say. In the show, dude, like he's like murders like 20-something people with those boomerangs, and I'm just like, that's a little different. All right, he's drinking too, it's kind of cool, but yeah, no, it's he was useless, yeah.
I actually liked one part. Like, it reminded me of like when I do in the video games when like you get the batarang and it's to get the camera. And that camera was like you get to watch it and like you kind of like scout out with that. And you just looking at this camera like, oh, it's Batman pretty much. Want to be Batman, all right?
So if you couldn't get a cool camera, it's got a little Samsung phone.
Yeah. But anyways, Enchantress, the one part I really liked was, oh man, giving me goosebumps too. When June was in like the meeting hall with all of them to, they try to convince the board to let the Suicide Squad be a thing, and they, they're like, oh, I can control her, and she has her heart, and like she's like called out Enchantress, and you see the hand come up from under and just flip her over. I'm like, ooh man, that's freaking creepy.
That was weird.
And and that's probably like one of the cooler parts for her part and everything. Like Enchantress is just weird in general. Like Joey said, the brother was awesome. He's just like sucking at everybody, all the freaking tracks from the railway there. And
The CGI on him was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, then El Diablo, the ending was just badass. Really, this like demon thing, like that was pretty cool to see. Cause you in there, like, who the hell would know? Like this guy, he's just a pyro guy. He's pretty much, the Human Torch, with tattoos and stuff. And
he's like the gangbanger Human Torch.
It's pretty much. And then he just comes as this big ass demon. And like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. And probably my favorite part, even though I do like the Deadshot thing about like right in the beginning, he puts up the little metal plate and the thing there, and he's just such a dick. He's like, it's up my account, man. He's like, you got about 10 seconds until this guy's gone. He's like, the job, you don't get paid until the job's done. He's like, I don't work that way. He's like, I don't see enough in my account. You got about 5 seconds before you're gone and you got no more chances. He's like, all right. He's like, all right, man. He's like, double it for being an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck you. He's like, okay. He's cool. His angles off like
Did
crazy.
you notice his transactions that he was paying for? One was at like Arkham Asylum for something. One was at like DC Comics. One was in Metropolis.
That's pretty cool.
For something, so it was like all different shout outs to
Yeah.
everything.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, probably like, even with Red McGee, it's probably one of my favorite scenes. It's just cool because you can see like Deadshot put on his little eye, and you see all the angles he's got to get him, and he's just being a dick. And I was like, pretty funny.
Yeah, I definitely wish he would have wore the mask a little bit more. Cause I thought it was a cool mask that he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that I also wish they did more trick shots like that because that's like something Deadshot like does on the norm. So,
Yeah.
But that was super.
Well, if you think about it, there weren't any like high value targets other than the one guy.
Right.
Other than that, it was just fighting these weird
Bubbly things.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm saying though, like if he's when he's shooting the things, just ricochet, boom. That's what he does. It would really
I guess one thing to like not really say like Joyce said, but like I don't think that Rick Flag was like useless. But one thing I didn't like was like every time they get a big battle, they bump into this grab, and he's like, oh god, help. They're like, oh, we gotta get him. It's like every single time they're in a big battle, I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, they would just grab him and like run away.
Yeah, like every single time they're in a big battle, like confrontation, that would just happen.
right.
And like I was just like really, like it has to be the same exact way every time.
Well, I mean, I was confused too, Dan. Like, I was watching it, and I was like, why do they keep going after Rick Flag? I was like, this is really annoying. And then I was like, oh, after Will Smith sees the top secret, like the agenda or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, they make a point of it saying that because that's his lady, that's why they keep trying to take him, because she wants him. And I was like, oh, all right, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it was really, really
So, yeah, he's just so stupid. He's just every time, like, finally, he's like, oh, man.
oh, shit, they got a red flag. I was like, God damn
Yeah,
it.
every single time. But to continue, I also want to, throw in there about the Joker. Jared Leto played him obviously in this installment of, the Suicide Squad. Yeah. The laugh was just, I didn't really care for the laugh. And as a whole, I didn't care as Jared Leto playing the Joker. I just didn't care how they portrayed the Joker as like this gangster thug with a shitload of tattoos and grills on his teeth. I was like, I feel like personally myself, after like over three-quarters of a century, the Joker has always been the same way. It's worked that way. There's just been obviously people who played him a little differently. And plus with other comics coming out, he became more dark and it turned more into that, which I liked. I feel like it just kind of worked throughout the whole entire time he's been a character to kind of keep it that way. And I wish they did have more Joker parts in there.
Yes. Because
it probably would have helped a little more, maybe a little more entertaining. Because Joker's always cool to see. He's always just this crazy guy who just like wants to hurt everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But the laugh was not. He needs work on the laugh a little bit. It's just like it's not really. It's just like a retarded laugh.
You don't need to do it every time.
It doesn't sound.
It's my favorite. I love it so much.
I think it's just too slow.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I understand that.
It just doesn't sound like a Joker laugh. It just sounds so like fake.
I'm just so used to Mark Hamill doing it.
Yeah, he's a really
It's
good
so
voice
good.
actor.
Yeah. But
Oh yeah, sorry. We're bringing Mark Hamill here. Like, wow.
You got anything else on it?
The tattoos a little too much. Like some of the tattoos are cool. Like you said, the hand was kind of funny. Like damage on the forehead was pretty retarded. And then they had too many ha-ha-has on his body. They have them everywhere. Like, a couple times, but we have them like ha-ha-ha, ha-ha-ha, ha-ha-ha. It's like, okay.
He's a funny guy.
Honestly, no, I don't like too
Fucking
much.
hilarious.
It's really does. It's just so stupid.
He's very self-conscious about that Joker laugh, too, because he was on, is it Jimmy Kimmel, maybe?
We'll work on it.
And he, talked about it. He's like, that was the hardest thing for him because it's such an iconic thing. And it's but I don't remember Heath Ledger's laugh at all. Like, I truly don't remember it. I just remember him.
I remember him doing it a little bit.
all I remember.
It was more like a Joker laugh.
I have to watch it again because I literally don't remember him laughing.
Yeah, I can't do it, but I know what it sounds like. But he didn't do bad Joker at all. But there's such a criticism I'll give him because he needs to work out a little bit because it's just not like. When I think of Joker, that's not like that crazy psychotic guy.
It wasn't a Joker that I would be mad. Like the whole thing is that no one's talking about whether the Joker's going to be in the Batman movies or not. He's going to be in the Batman movies. That's the main guy. Antagonist of Batman. So, his thing was hey, if they want me back, I'll come back. They're not going to just. It would be so stupid of DC, and really though sums up their universe. If you're like, well, we already showed you Joker, but fuck it, we're gonna get a new one. But Sam, you joined us, and I know you wanted to chime in when you were talking about the Joker, so go ahead.
This is my take on the Joker. For those of you who read the comics, while I can't talk, you'll probably know that this Joker is probably not the real Joker. It's actually Jason Todd.
They have talked about that.
And that's why he has the damage written on his forehead because of how fucked up he is, that how bad the Joker messed him up. That's why he has caps and a grill on all his teeth because of the torture. If you look at the Batman vs. Superman movie, when Batman's in the Batcave and he's looking at the suit, he has 2 puncture marks on each shoulder.
Yeah.
Now if you look at the Joker in Suicide Squad, he has 2 scars right where those holes line up.
I didn't pay attention.
The J under his eye, maybe for Joker, maybe for Jason Todd, just for that remembrance of
why
who
would he
he
be Red
is.
Hood then? That's the thing, because that's what he is.
So
Jason Todd is.
But in some of the comics, he turns into the Joker because he's tired of what what Batman stands for and what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's tired of being the sidekick.
Right. Now, at first that was everyone, when the Suicide Squad was announced and you got your first appearance of Jared Leto, it's so funny, Jared Leto, J.
Yeah,
J.
right.
Mr. J, pudding. But the rumor was that this is going to be Jason Todd. Now, I don't know. I don't know. I saw other, people kind of theorizing that the reason Joker's so beat to shit is because technically this is supposed to take place 10 years after Jason Todd's death.
Okay.
That is when it's supposed to happen. Because that's when, Maybe it's a couple years more because Batman vs Superman was 10 years later.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like another year or two later. I don't know how far after Superman's death this is.
Yeah.
But a lot of people said that he could just beat the shit because Batman literally just beat the shit out of him, and then that's when he threw him into Arkham, which could totally be a thing. I don't know. I do think that they have set this up perfectly if they want to do the Red Hood storyline, though.
Yeah.
This is a really good way to do it, especially because they showed you, like Sam said, they showed you the suit.
Yeah.
And that is
Just
Jason
like
Todd.
Know who he is, yeah, like the whole Robin
Right.
thing.
I'd love to see if he gets introduced or Nightwing gets introduced or anything like that.
Yeah, you think Jason Todd? You don't just like throw the suit in there just like for no reason.
But that's also a good point. That it could be like either he is Jason Todd, which
Yeah.
in some storylines he does before he becomes the Red
Yeah.
Hood, or it is Joker and he's just beat the shit because Batman beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That's totally a thing too. So, it's very, very interesting to see. You gave it a 6 out of 10? 7?
Yeah.
Do you have a rating out of 10?
For Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 5.5, a 6.
Okay, so you're around with Joey then. I'd say like 7.5. That's where I put it. I do agree with you that I liked it more than Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
I liked it, and I gave Batman vs Superman a 7 out of 10. So I'll bump it up a little bit. The things I loved Will Smith as Deadshot.
Yeah.
I do agree with Joey that like it might have been called Deadshot in the Suicide Squad because it was literally so much Deadshot. But at the same time, I understand that Deadshot and Harley Quinn, like those are the two essential pieces of the Suicide Squad.
Exactly.
Other pieces are rotated and they change. And like Captain Boomerang isn't always in the Suicide Squad. I don't actually even know when he is in the Suicide Squad. Maybe once, because I know he's more of with the gang, like Captain Cold and all that, you know, working against Flash.
I don't even know
who Boomerang was.
I didn't even know who the hell he was until he got
Only
introduced.
reason I know is because I watch Arrow and I watch
Okay.
Flash. That's the only reason I knew. But like you said, Slipknot, rather useless. Like, just to show you that they can die, and that was it. And I was
Yeah,
like,
pretty
oh,
much.
okay. It was pretty fucking wicked though, with his head missing like that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit,
like,
that's pretty cool. The Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn, loved it. I love that they paid homage to the old Harley Quinn with the suit.
Yeah, that was cool.
was
I like how she used the hammer and everything too.
Yes,
Yeah.
great. The bat, awesome. Everything they did with her, she looked really hot, but everything they did with her to develop her character was really, really good. Because they show you, you know, how she started working with Joker in the hospital and all this stuff.
Yeah,
You can kind of
all
see
her origins.
where her mind's starting to go. The acid thing was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree that getting the origins out front right in the beginning of the movie was great because you got to see every person and kind of set them up and that's just a good way to do it. Don't just throw us into it and we don't know who these people are because they're not as well known characters as a Batman, a Superman, a Captain America, and Iron Man. You know, you kind of have to develop it.
See, the thing about that I really liked is how they brought everybody in. But if you read like all the reviews from like the different critics, they're like nobody got explained.
And that's where I don't agree though.
Because they were like saying it took them way too long to introduce people. Like they introduced them the first part of the movie.
Right.
Like the first 30 minutes was everybody
totally.
getting introduced.
Just because you don't know them doesn't mean they explain.
Yeah.
Right, but no, yeah, they explained them very like you said. You pointed out when I asked why did he have the damn unicorn. You're like, oh, it said it right there, and I was like, oh no shit. All right, well here we go. At least they show you.
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't remember even saying that, but
Nope.
I don't
Yeah,
think I
the
missed
things
it.
where it says
Yeah.
throws boomerangs, they come back to him. Fetish, pink unicorn.
That's
It's like
okay.
it said like all the little.
It said it in
Bibles.
like big pink letters. It was like
Yeah.
fetish, pink unicorn.
I love the Batman. So the whole thing with this movie that to me was where is this going to tie in to their universe? Because I look at it as if you're going to throw a DC movie out there now, it has to tie in. You've started this universe, it's got to keep going.
Exactly.
And right away, boom, Amanda Waller seeing the Death of Superman shirts and it says "Remember" on the back. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, this
yeah.
is where we're at. This is pretty cool. Batman being in it, and everyone's like, well, Ben Affleck, from what we've seen early, isn't credited as a Batman, and I was like, are you just gonna throw me some random person in a Batman suit? Because I
It's so
understand
stupid.
because what Tim's point was saying when we talked about before we saw the movie was like, well, some people have said it's supposed to be there from the criminal's eyes what Batman looks like.
Well, there's gonna be two different Batmans. There's gonna be a Batman for his Batman movies, and there's gonna be another Batman.
No,
Yeah,
he's
that's
playing.
what-
He's playing Batman.
He's not playing both Batman.
Yes, he
There's
is.
two different Batmans.
Yes, he is. He's playing Batman.
Well, we'll see about that.
He's already said.
No.
He's directing and playing Batman.
No,
Why would you not be the same Batman?
Yes,
That would
it's
get
his
through the
Batman
story.
movie that he's playing Batman.
there's two different Batmans.
There's not yet. There might be eventually, but he's playing Batman in the Batman movies. But with Batman, It was Ben Affleck. Like, there's no doubt. As soon as you see him, you're like, oh shit, Ben Affleck. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Awesome. I'm so excited. You touched upon with when they're driving the Lamborghini and she's like, oh, it's Batsy. And I'm like, it's so great. Like, they just did such a good job with him. And seeing the Flash, like, out of nowhere, you're just like, oh,
like how
this is the Flash. All right, awesome. So I really, really enjoyed that. Really want more Affleck versus Will Smith. Like, I really wanted it. And I was like, he just got his ass beaten. Let his daughter make him a bitch. Like, damn. I like Jared Leto's Joker. I am interested to see where it kind of... Because there's no origin to Joker. We don't get an origin to Joker. He's just used as an origin to Harley Quinn. So I want to see what this Joker...
Well, do you think they'll use the Killing Joke as like how his origin may be then? Or do you get them like their own adaptation?
I hope... Cause this is a different Joker. Like,
yeah.
I haven't seen the Killing Joke yet, the movie. I really want to. But from the story, like, that Joker's different. They just made this one so different. Like, the hair slicked back, the tattoos all over. So it's like, what is the reason for this? Is this Joker? Is he really like just looks beat the shit because Batman beat the shit out of him? Is it because he's Jason Todd? What is it? I don't know.
This guy's a joke.
See, there you go. He beat me to it. His laugh was like, okay.
My favorite part is the ending of his laugh, where he's just like,
it's like a squeaky door. Like, you're just like, oh my god. It wasn't terrible. I mean, like, I don't know.
I personally just feel like he won't be remembered as this Joker. Like, when you think of Joker, it's like he'll be like the bottom, like not for remember.
I want to see him though in like an actual like Batman movie, because in a Suicide Squad movie, although the trailers and everything made it like he's gonna be a big deal, he wasn't a big deal.
Well, he was supposed to be. He got like...
He said there's a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
He got 45 minutes of the movie cut.
Well, the thing is, though, the movie is about the Suicide Squad.
Right, and he's never been a member of the squad. So I understand that.
Yeah, you can't just have him the whole entire movie.
Right. Your point on Enchantress was great. She was really cool. Didn't know she was going to be the villain, but ended up being a really, really cool villain with her brother. Everything. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought, like, it was pretty good paced. It wasn't very slow. I remember watching some movies like The Dark Knight Rises, and there's so much talking. And it's like, holy shit. Like, how long is that movie? It's
like 8 hours. It's like a day.
It's like a Lord of the Rings movie.
It's probably like
2.5.
Maybe around there. I can't remember exactly. But it's probably over 2 hours.
But this movie didn't feel 2 hours. We went to the early show, Sam and I, with my brothers, and I actually walked out, and I was like, I've never walked out of a movie and it's still daylight out. So I was like,
we were sitting there, the credits came on, I was like, man, it's time to go home, go to bed, and relax. And it came out, I'm like, it's like 11:30 and it's bright outside. I can't do this right now.
But overall, I thought the movie was pretty good. I did enjoy more than Batman vs Superman, but I'm excited for Wonder Woman, and I'm excited for Justice League.
Justice League, I'm really excited for.
Yes.
That's going to be cool.
Yes, and from what we saw, well, you haven't yet, but no spoilers, but what we saw from Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in Batman vs. Superman, it's going to be cool. So I'm excited to see, and hopefully Green Lantern gets introduced and how the other ones, but overall, I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if I watch it like multiple times, but I'd probably see it one more time.
Yeah, I wouldn't see it again if I had to. Like, if someone want to watch it like on DVD, I'll watch it.
Yeah, exactly. But
by that time,
it's no Deadpool.
If somebody wants to know,
he has said Deadpool socks out.
I'm now standing on the table showing my Deadpool socks.
So overall, are you excited for the rest, Joey, of the DC universe to unfold with Justice League?
Honestly, not really, because how DC is. And
That's true. You've only seen one movie.
Well, no, not even that. It's just how the DC universe is with movies and how god awful they do. Because they're I don't know. I'm not looking forward to them at all. I'm not gonna have high expectations in the least, because I'm not gonna be blown away. I know I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm not a DC fan, but I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. For me, I'm not looking too forward to it.
But you enjoy the Marvel movies.
I like the DC comics a lot, actually. But I feel like the thing about DC, like, as of late, because honestly, the last trilogy for Batman was outstanding. Everybody loved them, and even the new Man of Steel, I feel like did pretty well.
It's one of my favorite Superman interpretations ever. I'm
not really big in the older movies, but this new one I really liked. Yeah. But I think it's just they need to work on like their movies. Like they just felt maybe a little rushed, like, especially Batman vs Superman,
Oh,
which is too much in one movie. Like especially people who don't know, they're not gonna know all that crap that's in that movie. So that's probably why it didn't do so well. Because like I can see like you probably want to appeal more to your hardcore fans, but you also want to appeal to people who don't really know and just want to get into it. Like how Marvel does really well with that. I think that's why they're such success because you don't have to really know the characters and you can get really into them. They don't have to they don't just make you assume like you should just know them.
Well, you look at Civil War and they introduced two new characters and new to their universe, and it was like everyone's like those are probably like one of the two favorite characters out of the whole damn movie, and it's just like here you go, like
that was like with Civil War. I've seen a lot of the movies like leading up to it, but there was a few I didn't see Age of Ultron or whatever, and then getting into that movie I was like, oh, this is all coming back to me from like the first movie, and this is coming back from that movie, and then it all ties together. So you can literally go in there blind and be like, wow, I understand what's happening.
They have a very intricate universe and how they've set it up, and we're getting, as movie fans and superhero movie fans, we're actually I like to look at like we're in one of the best eras as superhero fans because we're getting superhero movies all the time, but they're not bad. Like you said, the Batman trilogy was outstanding. Man of Steel. I hate Superman so much. I hate the character. But I really enjoyed that movie. I was like, I watched it finally before Batman vs Superman came out.
You, Superman.
That's how I felt. I'm like, I ain't watching that fucking movie. And then everyone's like, you have to see it before you see Batman vs Superman. I was like, okay. And I watched it and I was like, oh, wow. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman. This is really good. But we're getting so many superhero movies. And within the next year or 2 years, we're getting another Guardians. We're getting Thor. We're getting Justice League, Wonder Woman, and Infinity Wars.
That's a lot.
You're getting
and Spider-Man,
right? And Spider-Man. And I don't know if you'll have Darkseid in the first Justice League movie. I don't know, but you're getting pretty much set up for the two biggest villains in comic book history for the most part: Thanos and Darkseid for the respective companies. You're getting them right here.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
As Joey said, like I don't have high expectations for the movies because like. Obviously, what we've seen, like, they're not bad, but they're not great. But I'm still excited for them because I just like the story and the people in them and the actual storyline that goes with the movies. So I do want to see what they do with it. But like I said, I'm not going to be like, wow, it's going to be great. It's going to be a freaking, like, 9 out of 10. But I'm hoping that it does well. Like, they kind of just learn from what they've done the last few movies and hopefully make them a little better. Kind of take off what Marvel does. I mean, Marvel does well. And, like I said, they don't have to have... You don't have to know the character by heart to really get into movies, which I think they need to kind of start doing, which, might piss off some people or something. I don't know. There's going to be some Nazi out there and like, it's not like the comic books.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be. It's a movie. It should be an adaptation.
Civil War was pretty off from the comics.
It kind of had to be.
It took bits and pieces.
Yeah, the plot was the same.
That's what they're there for. I think it was one of the directors from Marvel said, like, we don't go right off the comics. You really can't. Like, that's someone's interpretation of a story. We're going to use it, and we're going to pick pieces of it, and we're going to make our own interpretation. Like the iconic spot, they had it with Civil War, with Iron Man blasting and Cap's shield up at the end.
Yeah.
Like, that's the iconic moment.
The idea behind it, the plot was the same.
Right.
Like, and plus, like if it was the same exact same with the comic, that's one of the problem I have with like animation series or animated movies with the comics because they take it strictly from the comic, word by word,
and if
page
it's
by
not
page.
like the best, then you're more judgmental of it because you know how it's.
Yeah, it's like, well, I already know what the hell happened exactly. You did the same jokes, same lines, same scenes from each page. It's like it's not exciting. I need a little bit of adaptation, which is that's not a bad thing. I like that they do that because they said it takes a different story. Like like I said, it's an interpretation of their story. What's our interpretation?
Right. Overall, though, haven't been great. The last couple, they've been okay. But I am excited because I want to see the Justice League in a movie. Like, it's just something, like, ever since they started doing the Batman movies with Christopher Nolan, it was like, I really want the Justice League. I got the Avengers. Like, give me the Justice League. There's no Green Lantern yet, and that's kind of We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be Ryan Reynolds again. But I'm excited. I saw the trailer. Aquaman looks like a badass. Khal Drogo, dude. Oh,
hope he doesn't get
they don't
paper
know,
cut and
but
dies.
Khal Drogo is the man.
If he gets a paper cut and dies, I'd be salty.
But I'm excited, though. Overall, I'm not, like I said, like what Joey said, like, I'm not going to go in there thinking these are going to be the best. Like, I did that for Batman vs. Superman, and I was wrong. I was like, it's too much, too much hype for me. Suicide Squad, I didn't do that. I just went into it like, you know what, this is a movie I've been really wanting to see, and I want to see what they did.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Not Same back then. Now I just feel like everything's overhyped nowadays. Like you can't just like assume that things amazing. Like you guys kind of go in there like with the idea of knowing that it can be bad,
Right.
it can also be good. But like I don't like to go with the hype because then it's just gonna always probably let you down most of the time.
Right. Well, guys, that is it for our Suicide Squad review. As always, follow us on YouTube.com, search Second City Entertainment, Facebook.com/Second City Entertainment, Instagram, hit us up, it's Second City Entertainment, and on Twitter, it's Second City, capital E. So,
Yeah.
Dan, take
Like
us
I look at
away.
like you ID smiling like yeah.
Dan, take us away with the quote of the week.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. The Joker.
You stay watching Chicago.